even to this day, Deadly, this man, probably the Warlock Quan in our time of Mortal Kombat X.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, just narrowly misses the hit confirm there. He's just going to take his time here. He knows, as Quan, his defensive options are very limited. Down 3 in the scoop immediately at the start of the set. Very interesting choice.
And I think he got a whiffed missed special there, because you almost never see a Quan go for stand 2 of all things, where he tries to swat the air with one of the highest highs in the game.
And just trying to get a little bit of damage. Down 1 in the scoop again. The forward 1 poked between the eyes. Destroyer taking round 1.
Ooh, and trying to come in with that back ninja kick, that Jean-Claude roundhouse.
Down 1's right through that flex. And he's still going for these down pokes in the low scoop. There we go. Flex comes into play. Destroyer trying to make his move. Here we go. The mix finally working. 4-4 connecting, and here comes some nice damage. Try to build a little bit of meter. I guess going to kind of stay away from him. Maybe that's why he went with Warlock at this point.
Yeah, that was a fantastic read on the close rune coming in, and that sky drop.
No.
Missing for days and eating the unsafe overhead. And now he's going to knock down to deal with and armor. Even if he hits Destroyer, he's not going to die. And just like that, iLuusions should have known. That EX armor, he was not going to take damage. And wow.
And that, if that's not a statement, I don't know what is. Spending more than 1 bar, get the swaggy brutality with a brutality that we don't normally get to see with that back 3-2-2.
Yeah, that is
now.
Okay, let's give NRS some credit here. Tremor might have the best entire set of brutalities free in this game.
Free, it's literally no question. This guy has a brutality for like 17 different things, and all of them,
they're all fantastic.
Completely different. They're so good. Well, you take a look at, speaking of so good, you take a look at what Destroyer did in that match, being 2 steps ahead, putting the EX flex on to make sure that when his pressure came to an end, any amount of damage was going to be completely negated, and he punished accordingly, and that was extremely smart. You know, iLuusions immediately going off Warlock Quan, definitely not liking the choice there if you're iLuusions.
Ooh.
So now moving his way into Nimble Reptile, who we've seen him use more times than not. And definitely going to try and negate the use of that flex more so with those acid spits. And to be able to occupy space like this is definitely a pro of being Reptile against Tremor.
Oh, and look at the conversion, double acid ball and acid spit mid combo, and it wasn't even over yet. And going with that jump kick, which is a Tatsu. It has a great hitbox and converts with a slide. Great start from here from iLuusions.
Wow, just raw elbow dash. Here we go. He looks like he's going for more of a defensive style. Even with Basilisk.
Oh, that acid bubble is going to come in still, keeping that claw even safer. That was a sick setup from iLuusions.
You look at the amount of meter that he built there. Here we go, Basilisk. He's going to back off. No reason to put himself closer to that corner.
Destroyer.
Just drops the corner.
He's looking like a deer in headlights against these acid bubbles.
If you look at the sheer mobility by iLuusions, that was just absolutely dominant. A night and day difference compared to when he was using Warlock. I mean, there's nothing else to say. That was absolutely dominant all across the board from every single position on that map. You know, corner to corner, mid-screen, up close, far away, he just seemed to take control. And we manage to talk about it all the time, how iLuusions, every time he plays Reptile, it gets better and better and better. What I'm noticing more is his movement just kind of overwhelming his opponent, but now Destroyer wanting nothing to do with that, opting to contest that full screen game with HQT Predator.
Yeah, and those lasers, the recovery alone makes trying to zone him a nightmare, as he can shut down almost anything with those incredibly fast lasers. But if Reptile can get things going, wow, dashes through the laser there. And already has the Basilisk set up. And that unblockable forward 4 slide. Gonna get great damage here. And Luke capitalizing 37%. Gets him to sneaky low, and the claw hits everywhere. Go back into the corner. This is MK9's Reptile that we're seeing all over this screen with dashes.
It's actually just such a treat to be able to watch something like that. You saw just how fast-paced you have to be, and that's not easy to do. Keep in mind, Nimble Reptile is rather execution-heavy, and I don't think a lot of people understand that.
Oh, some swag from Destroyer!
Damage.
That was swag if I've ever seen it. Destroyer is gonna come off that bar and get some huge damage, but a drop! A great recognition from iLuusions to close that out.
Just about to say it. That was a beautiful use of his meter on the EX slide, narrowly closing out that round. But Destroyer is on to something here. He realizes that even from up close, HQT can compete with Nimble Reptile's pressure. Wow, even had enough time with the Smart Disc to jump both ways and still hit him for that.
And that's twice Destroyer's dropped huge corner combos. And if he gets hit here, oh man, that would have been some basilisk set up and force a breaker, and that would have been bad for Destroyer. Just like that, going into the final round, he's gonna have no meter.
He had to break.
Oh, and iLuusions wants this now. And
no way.
And the forward 4 closes it out. He just kept throwing the forward 4 string, and Destroyer falling apart in the corner. Predator is just helpless when he gets knocked down in the corner without meter, as that string will also break the armor if he tries the scimitar slam. Everything falls apart for the Destroyer. Hashtag feels bad, man. Not like this.
Destroyer with HQT Predator just slamming down that life alert button, looking for some help. Reptile just seem to have all the options there against HQT Predator in the corner there. As you said before, that string no doubt will break the armor, and the EX straight missiles by HQT doesn't even have armor, so that would get stuck. It almost seemed like he just had to hold all of that damage.
Yeah, he was definitely fallen, and he could not get up. He needed some help there. And iLuusions.
So EX slide. Taking his time, you know, he really doesn't, he's been doing so well with the up-close game, iLuusions doesn't really need to take any risks. He takes the risks up close with the mix when he has that momentum going, but as far as getting in, he's not in a rush. He just tries to hit buttons. That is not your turn, sir.
Ooh, and getting the whip punishes Destroyer, easily confirming into potential killing damage, and that is going to close it out.
The Destroyer almost looks mad after the past couple of mishaps, playing so much better this game. Oh, EX Basilisk tries to go for the gimmick. Very nice presence of mind from Destroyer to know that that is not guaranteed. Here we go, goes with all these strings. Whoa, but Lou gets away with it that time. Very nice by Destroyer, knowing that iLuusions cannot block with that Basilisk being active. Wow, uses both bars to try and get a conversion, trading both bars. iLuusions breaking.
Oh, and not getting the conversion.
No conversion.
Yeah, iLuusions.
Speaking of conversions, a nice little conversion of his own.
Oh, and the down
Lou
4.
doing everything in his power.
Barely
needs to get out.
Clipping Destroyer, getting him another down 4 again from iLuusions. He's gonna watch out. Exactly. He loves to stack. He loves to set that up. You always want to press the button after that claw on block. And iLuusions now twice. EX slide afterwards to close out 2 rounds now with that exact same setup. Destroyer did not make the adjustment to bait that out.
Wow, and you talk about defense. iLuusions' defense has been very on point.
And the setup we saw again, it had to confirm into EX Basilisk. Oh man, iLuusions now has no meter right now.
And just the blocks, and you see he's just building that meter, waiting for the right time to use it.
And got the hard knockdown.
Jump kick there.
And if he doesn't break, and threw right when he got that stamina back. So smart from iLuusions, and all he needs is one now. And even now, he doesn't have to respect the armor because of how fast Reptile strings hit, especially the forward 4. And the down 4 is going to close it out. iLuusions, 3-1, semi-comfortably taking it.
And that was so smart by iLuusions. You take a look at what he was doing before, just literally just eating all of that pressure at the end.